All right, welcome into the Brandon Lowe Show with Ryan Pritt here on HT Media and Video Productions. I'm Brandon Lowe. Next to me, Ryan Pritt. Across from me, Jack Withrow as the voice of University of Charleston athletics. And speaking of that, Charleston baseball had a nice weekend as Jack has come back from Beckley. You've been there since what, Wednesday? You said?
Yes, I've been there forever.
Yeah, but you had great accommodations, so.
Yes.
I'm not feeling bad for you.
Oh, it was a great time. But, University of Charleston, the Mountain East Conference tournament champions. They won the regular season in the South Division, and now they're the tournament champions. So,
yeah, we're going to have the head man on the show today. We're going to have Robbie Britt on the program. And you said that's his first one, right, there at UC, because 2020 was...
Yeah, his first year was 2020, took over, and, of course, it was cut short after 14 games, I believe.
Yeah, which sucked. 2020 sucked for everybody.
Yeah, and then I mean, in 2021, it was kind of an abbreviated schedule for him. So, and this was the first full season, really, that he has been at the University of Charleston. So, yeah.
Good stuff. So we'll have him coming up here in about 15 minutes or so. Ryan's been covering a lot of softball. I see that, as I've been trying to share all your articles over at wvgazetmail.com and herald-dispatch.com.
I was tennis this past weekend.
Oh, yeah, you had tennis this weekend, but then you had some softball sprinkled in there, right?
Yeah, and we get back at it tonight. Regionals start. Jack, if you want to spit some seeds, we'll be at Winfield tonight.
Nice.
Class AA Region 4 opener.
Okay.
Scott Skyhawks at Winfield. Of course, these are all best of 3 series. And by the time we get to, well, I don't know, actually, if you look at the weather, Wednesday and Thursday looks like you may need the arc.
Right, yeah.
By the time we get to the end of the week, we'll have our state tournament pairing. So
it's good to just have everybody back in studio. I know we did the Zoom episode on Friday.
Which was fun, by the way.
Which was a lot of fun.
Talking about that.
Thank you to our guest. And they're up in Detroit right now. Popping things off. I saw that.
Yeah. UC's, there's a lot of stuff going on at UC, as we were talking about. The tennis teams are good too, right? Or men's tennis, right?
Men's tennis.
Yeah.
Women's tennis is good too. So
that was a cool episode Friday. Of course, we missed Jack, obviously.
Yeah.
Nothing looks or sounds as good when he's not around. But I will say that was MEC. That was Epling Field, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a cool little. I like that.
It is. It's a nice setting, looking out past the batter's eye, out through this valley.
Yeah, when you're up in the press box, you're looking out over all that, and it just it's kind of like W's Field a little bit, right?
On top of the mountain there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So I've covered that MEC deal a couple of times. It's always pretty fun, especially if you get good weather, which it looked like you had, right?
Some. We had 2 rain delays yesterday on Sunday, which is not fun because it's the last day, and everybody's like, let's get through this, and it's just a marathon, but we got through it.
Compared to some past years, though.
Yeah.
You're sort of like,
we do
playing next week?
We do a text line during the broadcast of the games, and all the fans that are watching text in, various things. It kind of gets goofy sometimes, but somebody said, it's not a Mountain East Conference baseball tournament unless you have a rain delay.
That's true. And Beckley weather is even more volatile than here.
Yeah.
You just never know.
It's definitely different. Driving through there, coming back from vacation, I've come back certain times where you leave obviously warmer weather, you're going south, and you come up here and it's snowing. Right, because spring weather, you can have snow up there anymore.
Yeah, you're setting up on a little plateau as well.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I've been sitting here and it's been 55 and driven down there and it's snowing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beckley's its own ecosystem down there, man.
It is.
Never know. Yeah. So,
what else did you guys get into this weekend? Just you baseball? What did you do, Ryan? Just tennis or anything?
Well, there was 14 hours of tennis played on Friday. They went from 8 o'clock in the morning until 10:15 at night over at Charleston.
Wow. I didn't know.
Did you get any John McEnroe moments?
Kind of.
Are there some
I'm
screaming?
just going to leave that. I'm not going to. We're not. Yeah. There was some
smashing of the rackets.
No, nothing like that. I mean, there were some exchanges with some officials, though.
Really?
Yeah.
They get mouthy, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Hey, it's in every sport.
Yeah, for sure.
And then some of it's just, I don't know. I shouldn't even say.
Go on.
I don't know. Hey, we're not here to criticize officials.
No, I wasn't here to criticize officials.
No,
because I guarantee they were right 99% of the time.
That's just what I was thinking. I wasn't putting that on you. That was me. I was talking to myself right there. But Yeah, then we turned around and went right back Saturday. Went from 8 o'clock in the morning till about 5 o'clock in the evening. And, yeah.
How'd you do Sunday?
What did I do or how did I do?
How did you do? The NASCAR.
Awful.
I did
I had
great.
the same guy you had. But as you all saw in the text thread, I kind of had a little silver lining there, though.
I didn't see that.
Hit a 5-car matchup parlay.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
$5 bet to bring in 106.
I know that was
That
congrats
makes you
on
feel
that.
a little bit better.
That's hard to hit.
Yeah, and it was so funny because it's so funny the way, like, if you, and listen, guys, I'm not advocating betting. I don't bet very much. Trust me, I don't have enough money to bet them a lot. I bet a couple bets on NASCAR every week. That's about it. I'll even bet on football and all that, even when that's in. But it was a 5-pick parlay, and there were matchups. So it was like Kyle Busch had to beat Chase Elliott, and you had 5 of those. And I looked up with 20 laps to go, and I had 4. And Truex was in 7th, and Chastain was in 6th, and I needed Truex to pass Chastain to get to 5th. So all of a sudden, I'm just screaming in the bedroom, like, come. And Kelsey's like, what are you talking about? You don't even have him. I'm like, I'm about to win $100. So, like, just randomly cheering on the guy in 7th place for no reason at all.
Little side bet.
Yeah, but he got him with about 18 to go, pulled away, and it was nice. Nice little bet win there.
I tell you what, this weekend has made me just realize that I no longer want to go on this Disney trip completely. That's been my weekend. It's been there. It's been brewing. So my wife's compressor, the air conditioning, it went out. And I don't know if you know anything about how much that costs, but it costs anywhere from $1,000 to $1,200 with the part and installing it. So we put all our money in this vacation stuff. So we're like, okay, what can we do until...
Wait, you're talking about our car air conditioner?
Yeah, the compressor in it. So it goes out. Apparently, it's common in these Honda CRVs, which is awesome,
Great.
So, and she says that, like, I should be okay with it. She's like, well, it's common in these cars. I'm like, that doesn't take away the $1,200 cost we can't pay right now.
Sounds like she's going to have to get tough.
So, yeah, exactly. So, as you know, Ryan, if you go down to Orlando or any area, we can't be driving in an SUV or any car for that matter without any air conditioning.
Also, this is the car you're taking.
Yeah, we're going to take it because it's the SUV.
Everything. Yeah, when are you going?
In 2 weeks. We'll see.
So is it June or the tail end of May?
It's the tail end of May into the first week of June.
I mean, it's going to be hot.
It's going to be hot.
It could be worse. I mean, it could be going in 2 months.
Yeah, I know. So
it's not going to be fun.
So we're like, okay, and her name is on her mom's car and all that, and we've helped pay for stuff for that car. So we're like, hey, we'll just take her car. It's a little car. It's going gas. Well, she's had her car sitting there forever because she's dealing with a lot of health issues and she can't drive. So all she did was basically just start the thing and then just let it sit in this garage. So the battery that I bought 2 years ago for it, it was shot. We had to take it out of there and have her brother take it to his place, and he has a charger and all that stuff. He's got like his own little garage area. So you bring it back, and it charges, and it starts. And we're like, all right, we got to, we'll take this car. So we drive it home, and this morning it didn't start again.
Alternator.
So you think that's the alternator?
Be my
the
guess.
lights come on and everything. The battery could have just been worn, though.
Yeah, it could be many things. It could just be a bad battery. Yeah, you're right.
Well, the battery's sitting there for, almost 2 years in different temperatures, and it's probably moisture, too. It's built up inside that garage and all that stuff. So I'm going to have to go buy a battery for it and see how that works, too. So at this point, I'm already $2,500 already into this trip, and now we're talking about car situation now, and I'm just ready just to throw Mickey Mouse off the top of that castle.
I just thought you meant like the kids were being jerks this weekend.
No,
This
like
has the makings of vacation.
It is. It's pretty much vacation. It's hell,
Sorry,
dude.
folks.
Holiday road.
Yeah, it's gonna be closed when we get there.
Disney's closed.
We're going to open up the show that week. With
The mouse
Holiday
should have
Road.
told you.
I just can't. I can't even look at that mouse right now. My daughter has like a shirt. I'm like, take it off. Put something else on.
I don't envy you going to Disney World anyway.
I don't want to go there anyway.
No.
The drive's going to be miserable. We were going to fly, but it's like, I don't know, plane tickets now are starting to go like through the roof at this point. And obviously we picked the greatest time in the world to go on vacation. It's only inflation and gas prices and so I'm already not ready for this. And then this is happening this weekend.
I had to drive to Ripley twice last week in consecutive days to cover softball. It's really, I mean, which is obviously not like driving to Orlando. That's not what I'm saying, but still, like with
With the air
gas the way
conditioning?
it is.
Oh, with gas. Okay.
It's kind of like, wow, you know.
Is this worth it?
And by the way, I always tell people, you know, from Poca to Ripley, it's like 30 miles.
Yeah.
There is absolutely no easy way to get from Putnam County to Jackson County. You should see the drive I went on. It was awesome.
It's like a back road.
So I'm out at Heiser Creek, which turns into 34, and then you go out through Liberty
Oh yeah.
into Kenna. You never touched interstate on the way up. Which
You
is
forgot
actually,
about Paradise.
No. That's on Red House Hill. I didn't go to Paradise.
You didn't go that way. Okay.
No, I went up through 10 miles through Heiser Creek, 10 miles. It's like 3 segments of 10 miles, and you're there. But it took an hour. But it was,
Yeah, I mean,
I enjoy that kind of stuff. It's pretty crazy. But then I had to do it again the next day, and I'm like, okay, once was awesome, twice in 24 hours. It's getting to be a lot. And guess where I'm going tomorrow?
back to Jackson.
Ripley.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I just I'm done with this vacation already. I didn't even want to go on it in the first place. It's for the kids. At this point, I just wish I didn't have kids. I wouldn't. I'm kidding, but no. I'm
Does
just
she
kidding.
listen to this?
No.
Okay.
But no, I'm kidding totally. But
So,
no, Disney. It's the things you do for your kids. It's just crazy.
see, what's the next move?
Yeah, I don't know. Set the car on fire. I don't know.
Collect the insurance money.
Yeah, crash it somewhere, collect the insurance money, have some vacay. Oh, and that's not even half of it. So the tax refund I was supposed to get, I never get one. We were looking at like a couple grand, and they came back Saturday and told me that it's actually just gonna be like a couple $100. So that happened to me too today.
That'll
This
buy you
weekend.
lunch one
Well,
day.
you're talking about tax refund?
Yeah, and we've been waiting on it. It's been late, and they're like, "Hey, by the way,
I owed money this year, which was
I usually do. I usually owe money,
It's
but
because thanks, LM.
yeah,
that's why I owed money.
Contract worker, man.
Yeah. that was
1099.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that was the other kicker. So it's been awesome, man. Great weekend, by the way, guys. It's been awesome.
I've got my own horror story about a pool too, so we can get to that later. I think we're about time to bring Coach Britt on.
Okay, let's
So-
do that.
take a
Depressing our audience, but it's okay. Let's get to something positive. I think I'm gonna make it to Disney. I don't know, guys. Hey, I'll set up a GoFundMe on the thing and help me out. Help me get to Disney.
Might need help getting back.
Yeah, that's the thing. I might be helping it back, but
I'm not sure you're going to get much sympathy money for trying to go to Disney and GoFundMe.
that's true. Yeah.
I mean, I love you, but I ain't giving you $1 for Disney.
I really don't want to
And
go.
I'm actually looking out for you, hoping you just don't have to go.
That's what I'm saying. I'm hoping that none of the cars work. Secretly, I'm like, I hope it doesn't.
mean,
'Cause I
isn't-
don't want to go.
didn't you say-
I'll just wash my hands clean of the $2,000. I don't care.
Didn't you say the kids are kind of like, eh?
Yeah, when we did it for Chris, like we told them we're gonna take it for Christmas,
They were
which
like,
makes me even more pissed off. They're like, oh yeah, because kids, they want it now. If you tell them future events, they're like, oh, what's that do for me now?
Yeah.
I gotta wait.
Yes, I guess.
So yeah,
I think we
so
were
it's been awesome.
Yeah, that we came back for the show from Christmas break, and he goes into the story. How I guess Chris had wrapped it or put it in
Oh,
the
she was so
stocking or something. She
excited.
was like so pumped, and they open it, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
She thought she was gonna get the classic, like we're going to Disney reaction. They're just like, oh yeah, cool. That's all we got. And I'm just in the kitchen at that point. I've cracked open the Woodford, and I'm sipping that thing. On this is gonna be a long day.
oh."
And we're talking, it's 10 in the morning,
Can't wait to
folks.
see those 98-degree lines you're standing in for 3 hours down there.
I'm never gonna do that.
Yes, you
They
will.
are. I'm not.
Yes, you will. I know you will.
I'm gonna be. I don't know.
If Kristen says to get
Sipping
your ass
natty.
in line, you're going to be in line, and you ain't full of nobody in this room. If you say otherwise,
I'm not getting in line of anything. I don't ride stuff.
what are the betting odds on this?
I'm riding nothing.
What do you think?
I'll ride some stuff with the kids, but I'm not riding
There you go.
It's already
There you go.
the kids. If the kids ask
It's the
me.
kids.
Well, the kids are going to ask you to ride everything, Brandon.
I guess I'll be hopping on
That's
those.
what
But
we're
she's-
saying.
Oh, okay. I thought you were telling her get me on rides. I don't ride the stuff she rides.
She's going to get you on there with the kids, is what I was saying. I mean, you all have to ride with the kids. You're not going to leave the kids standing there for 3 hours while you guys are in line.
They
for a
deserve
ride.
it. They deserve it after the things they've put me through.
You're not going to. First of all, you wouldn't trust Zeke by himself standing there for 3 hours.
He disappeared.
Right.
He might make us some money on the side. He can hustle somebody outside the park. That'll be good. Get us some
my
money back.
God, good
But make Dad some money. All right, let's get to some University of Charleston baseball.
Please.
Take a break. We're gonna have Robbie Britt on. Winners of the Mountain East Conference Tournament champions, as well as they won the South too in the regular season. So we're gonna chat with him and get his thoughts overall this past weekend and all that good stuff. Jack will talk to Robbie, ask him how he's doing, and then we'll just go to break again and we'll talk about.
I thought we were going to break first.
We're going to break.
Okay.
I was just trying to confuse you. All right, we're going to.
Honestly, we should have taken a break 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
That was fun. All right, we're going to break. We'll be back with Robbie. To the Brandon Lowe Show with Ryan Pritt here on HT Media and Video Productions. I'm Brandon Lowe. Next to me, Ryan Pritt, and across from me, the voice of Charleston Athletics. Baseball is what we're talking here. UC, winners of the South there in the conference, and then also champions recently of the tournament up there in Beckley. Jack, take it away, man. What were the thoughts of the weekend? And then on the phone, we got Robbie Britt, the head coach with UC. Welcome to the show, Coach. And Jack's been telling us about your team's performance and just go into the emotion of winning the tournament, your first one.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Obviously, anytime you can win the conference tournament, I think it's really tough to do. And, I think it's anybody's game when you're inside of that kind of environment. The regular season to me is your resume. And so ultimately, I think the regular season is kind of where you show who the true champion is. But in the tournament setting, a lot of it has to do with who's hot, and just very proud of our approach to it this weekend. And of course, the way that we battled in both games yesterday, but finding a way to bounce back after a really tough loss and find a way to win a championship in a tournament setting. That was very exciting.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, it's one thing to win games during a regular season in a span of a long season like that, but tournament play is a different animal, and you know that. And it all comes down, I think, to pitching. And you guys had some guys step up this past week and performed really well for you.
Yeah, and you start with Colt Webb, and really you probably could start and end with him and Ethan Sedurna, but Colt has just a fascinating story of how he got to Charleston and the man that he's developed into. And of course, he pitched really well for us in game one and gave us a chance to win in that game. And as soon as we finished, he said, "I'll be ready for Sunday." And of course, in the moment, I'm kind of rolling my eyes, typical head coach, where I'm like, okay, let's just see how your body recovers, because he's an old, salty vet to begin with. And then Saturday, he told me the same thing. He goes, "I will be ready for tomorrow." And Sunday we showed up to the yard and he had his full uniform on. He was ready to go out of the pen in game one. And then obviously when we got to game two, we didn't even really establish who the starter was. He just went down there and started going through his arm care, long toss, and he got on the mound and he wanted the ball. And then Ethan Sedurna did the same thing. He pitched on Friday, and both of those guys threw over 100 pitches in their outing. And Ethan was like, "Hey, I'll be ready to go if you need me." And I feel like we were in a very good position coming out of the winner's bracket. We had a lot of arms available, but when you've got two older guys, especially Colt, who he's been first team all conference twice. I think he was definitely a candidate for pitcher of the year this year. When they want the ball, like, you just sort of give them the ball and let them ride with it. So, our pitching all throughout the year has been fantastic, but to see what those guys did in a tournament setting was incredible. And, I'm so proud of both of them.
I think actually the biggest thing too is, you had the rain delays. That's a pain within itself. And then you lose a close one and you battle in the first one, then you get in the second game, overcoming. You talk about adversity that you talked about. Some teams can just kind of throw it away if you lose that first game, but kind of talk about your team coming back and overcoming that adversity. You got the rain delays, you lose the tough one in the first game. Kind of go through that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. We talk about athletes. Great athletes are three things. They're reliable, meaning they're consistent. They're relentless, meaning when they have a lead, when they go through their daily preparation, like they're relentless to the process. And then the third R is resilient, and it's the ability to respond quickly from adversity and get back to the present moment. And so really we just threw that back on our players. And I'll be honest, I was at peace with whatever happened yesterday. I mean, Glenville State, they're a regional team. I thought this is the best the league has been in the 3 years that I've been at Charleston. And from talking to other people, this is the best the league has been in a long time. And so, I felt very good with where we were at. And, we were picked third in the preseason. Like everybody thought we were going to be rebuilding this year. And if you look at our roster, like we are pretty inexperienced up and down. But I also think that's what makes us great. Like we have sort of the goldfish mentality. Like goldfish, they get back to the present moment pretty quickly. They've got short-term memory. And so we were able to just enjoy ourselves and have fun. And I told our group after the first game, if this is the last game that we play, like, let's just go out and have a blast doing it. And that's kind of been the motto of our team this year. Is we just have fun. We compete hard. We play the game extremely competitively and hard. And, I was really proud of the way that they responded and their resiliency in game 2.
Yeah, Coach, obviously, get right back to it Thursday here, it looks like, against Millersville. The 7th seed in the region, does that serve as a little bit of a motivator for you guys?
Well, I think the PSAC is such an incredibly tough conference to come out of. And I mean, you can see that in the regional rankings. Now, again, a lot of that has to do with when there's that many good teams in your league, it's going to help everybody's strength of schedule and it's going to sort of lift everybody up. But, I think there's no doubt if you look at the data that our league should be a multi-bid league. I'm sure that's probably not the popular thing to say, but Glenville State was a regional team. I know Frostburg State was still in their transition period, so they weren't eligible this year. But I thought Anthony did an incredible job with that squad. Concord, what they had, and so to me, the seeding doesn't necessarily matter at this point. Everybody's sort of in the same boat, and we're going to go up and compete really hard against a really good Millersville team. But we could have been matched up with anybody in that region, and you're going to get a quality opponent at that point. So just to be one of the 56, I think anytime that you're in that conversation, it's a great opportunity for your team. And, as long as we do what we need to do and execute our game, I think we've proven with some of the games we've played this year that, we're not going to be intimidated by anybody. We're going to have a chance to win as long as we execute our game plan.
Coach, talk about you mentioned briefly about the strength of the league this year. And Glenville State is one that really impressed me this year. I saw you guys play up there back in the regular season, and they took 3 or 4 from you then. And I just thought, man, this team is good. They started the program back in 2012 back up. And Jimmy Mullins, the head coach, is there now. Been there 9 years and has done a wonderful job building that program. But talk about, the matchup between them. And was there any motivation because you guys got beat 3 games back in the regular season and then getting back in an opportunity to face them in the championship on Sunday?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it has more to do with just that squad and Jimmy. They're kind of a reflection of us a little bit. That's what made me the most nervous was they're just very gritty. They're very tough, or what I would define as tough. And so when when you look at them from a scouting standpoint, they're really difficult to prepare for. They're deep on the mound, as they proved throughout the tournament. And they are, they're relentless. Like they will just keep throwing out the same arms over and over and over again. And, I told Adam Riggleman, if I had to watch him take off his hoodie and go down there and warm up in the pen one more time, I was going to lose my mind. I had a nightmare about it last night after the games was over. So, Jimmy's just an incredible coach, and does a great job with his team, and they're well prepared. They play hard, which I think may be the hardest thing to do in coaching, is to get your guys to show up and consistently play hard day in and day out. And he's done that, and that's why they're able to fight back and be in that winner take all game, against us. So I have so much respect for them. Selfishly, I hope they don't continue to be that good, but I know that they are going to be. And, a lot of that is a credit to Jimmy and his staff.
What do you know early, obviously, about Millersville here?
Yeah, I haven't done too much prep yet. Just a lot of today is more about the operations of going to the regional, which is new for me. We were in it last year, but obviously hosting was a much different endeavor. So the operation piece has taken up a lot of the morning. But, as with any Coach Sheehan coach team, they're going to defend it really well. They're going to be deep on the mound, and they'll probably have a lot of tall, physical right-handers that throw hard fastballs and heavy sliders, and they'll execute well at the plate. So, we're just going to have to be clean and well-organized as a ball club. And again, if we do that, then just like we saw in last year's regional, I think the game will be very competitive and we'll have chances to win. But at the same time, if you make a lot of mistakes, then they're going to take advantage of those mistakes. And so I love preparing for John's teams. I think he won his 500th game this year. I remember hearing him speak probably 4 or 5 years ago at our national coaches convention. And that was back when I was an assistant coach at Middle Tennessee, and just thinking, man, this guy's got his stuff together. And so now having to compete against them, there's a lot of challenges that go into that. But that's what makes it fun. This time of year, any of the 7 teams in the regional could come out of that thing. And, obviously I hope it's us, but, preparing for John and his team is always a fun challenge.
You talked about your resume as well earlier, and you played the defending national champions early in the season in Wingate. You've went to W. You played some other tough out of league opponents as well as in league. But talk about that resume and how you go and approach your whole season to get into the postseason and compete.
Yeah. So again, that's a great question. There's different criteria that the committee is going to look at, and a big one is strength of schedule, and that's something that I know we've talked about a lot as a league. With the PSAC, they kind of build each other up because they beat each other up, but it raises everybody's strength of schedule. And some of the other categories like road results, wins versus teams that are 500 plus. We were tremendous in all of those categories this year. 17-11 in road wins. That's one of the highest percentages in the region. Our wins versus teams 500 plus was extremely high this year. And then, of course, our in-region results, we were 37-15 in-region results. So, I think in those categories, we put together a really strong resume. And what we did out of conference, to start the year 5-7 and, getting swept at Wingate, taking 2 or 3 at LMU, winning 1 at Carson Newman. Like, at the time, you're sitting there thinking, all right, hopefully this is going to prepare us for something better down the road. And then you look up and, you've only lost, 9 games since then. That it definitely helped sort of forge us in the fire. But that's the way I approached it this year was, we had Pitt Johnstown, one of the PSAC schools, on our schedule, and took 2 of 3 from them. We tried to play a really competitive non-conference schedule just to help our young guys kind of get prepared for what was going to come in conference play. And we went on the road the first 3 weeks of the year, and I think that helped us too. So a lot of those components go into scheduling. And I think moving forward, one thing I need to do a better job of is, really looking at the data and figuring out, okay, what do I need to do to increase our strength of schedule? Obviously, you can only control so much in league, but as far as the games that I can control, how can we best position ourselves to, boost up the strength of schedule component of our schedule?
Well, I'm sure after the W game, all the Big 12 teams are calling for you guys to play.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had a lot of interaction on the phone with those guys, but Yeah, that was a great experience, and Coach Mazey, appreciate him having us up there, and just first class in everything that they do, and I think very highly of him. We've got some mutual contacts from our days in Tennessee. He actually lived in my hometown for a couple years when he was an assistant at Tennessee. I think I was probably in kindergarten or first grade back then, but in all seriousness, I mean, his team, again, very competitive, and it was a great experience for our guys. So, again, if it never happens again, then, I understand, but I'd love to get back together with them maybe in the fall when it's a little bit less stressful for everybody and you're just trying to find out about your ball club. I think, maybe having them at the Power Park or something like that would be an incredible draw here in the capital city. I think that would be a great thing for everybody. So maybe I'll approach him about that once their season's done.
Yep. Let's get that going. Yes. Yeah, I'd love to see that. It'd be amazing. You talk about getting hot in postseason play, getting into the tournament there. And, I don't know if you saw the final stats, but 53 total runs, 63 hits. You shut out a team, allowed just 2.8 runs per game in that run. So if that could continue into this regional round, I mean, the sky's the limit for your program.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that data. I was unaware of that. Sort of just got lost in the hustle and the bustle of the tournament play. But yeah, we played really well, really since that Glenville series, Jack, that you talked about earlier. Even going up to WVU, but taking 3 of 4 against Concord, 3 of 4 against State, and then going 4 and 5 or 4 of 5 in the tournament. We have played really well. And again, every team that I coach, really one of the things we focus on is pitching and defense. That's got to be the backbone of what we do, because offense, as you saw yesterday in game 1, was really hard to come by. I mean, I didn't think we played poorly at all in game 1. I actually thought it was one of our better executed games of the year. But, when you're playing a team that's that competitive, and the kid that they ran out there on the mound, throwing 4 different pitches for strikes, running the zone east and west and north and south. I mean, we had to manufacture those runs, and that's going to happen from time to time when you face other really quality opponents. So our ability to pitch and play quality defense, as I think we did the entire tournament, you're hopefully going to get more consistent results when you do that.
Yeah. Yep. 4 guys on that all tournament team as well too. So great performance there up there. We're rooting for you here, Coach, in the regional. Hopefully you do a great job up there and keep your winning up. We appreciate you being on the show today.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. And again, Jack, I know you and I have spoken about it before, but just appreciate all you do for UC athletics. And I've loved this team. This team's been so much fun to be around, and the best part is that I get to show up today and train with those guys again. Didn't want it to end. So we get to be together for another week, and hopefully for a little bit longer after that.
Well, hopefully you relaxed last night and enjoyed it.
Maybe for a couple minutes.
I know how you are. Coach, again, thanks
Coach.
For joining us.
Appreciate you.
We'll see you down the road.
Thank you.
All right. There he is. Robbie Britt, UC.
Very cool.
Good stuff, man.
Good stuff, yeah. He's a good interview, man. Met him last year during the regional down at hell, we were there for 6 weeks.
Hey, we had a rain delay.
6 weeks.
That's the one where we had the rain delay with 2 outs in the ninth. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was West Virginia State and UC.
And I think the umpire was giving him a chance to get
I remember
out.
that.
It was like a ground ball is short, and he threw it into the road over there, and he was like, all right, that's it.
And
Gotta stop this.
I mean, we joke about rain delays, and I know they're difficult, but I've witnessed a couple of unique things in rain delays here in the past 2 seasons, both with University of Charleston last year. They were doing a standoff in the pouring rain. They had UC had a kid out there with his shirt off, just his baseball pants, standing out there. Well, State sends a guy out there as well, so it's kind of a standoff to see.
Playing a little games, yeah.
Yeah, and then they started foot race to the outfield fence.
Some really cool stuff in the
Yeah.
rain delay.
Rain delays are always, you have a little fun, right?
And then yesterday, it was a rain delay with University of Charleston and Glenville State, and I see a baseball go flying across the field towards the UC dugout from the Glenville State dugout, and there's a group of guys over there, and they're huddled around, and then they turn around and they fire it back across, and the guys over here, what they were doing was probably playing tic-tac-toe on a baseball with a marker during a rain delay.
That's great.
Because I know they're not sharing any recipes for
Yeah.
peach cobbler or anything, but
By the way, if you out there have a peach cobbler recipe, I'll take it.
I saw somewhere on Facebook, I think it was a minor league team, or it might have been a college team. I think it was a college team. And they were in a rain delay, and this guy could balance things on his chin.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that, but they were balancing a chair. He was balancing like this huge.
Was that the guy that performed at halftime at WU?
I don't know.
There's a guy that did that.
I don't know.
Halftime.
But he was a player, and they were all in the delay, and he had the skill where he could, and he was just entertaining his other teammates, and they were just, clapping. It was awesome. It was pretty cool.
baseball's fun. I mean, I know it's a slow sport, but it gives you time to be creative too.
Yeah.
The guys in the dugouts, you see them with they get the binoculars made out of cups.
Yeah.
And they do a lot of stuff. And
There was a lot of fun baseball yesterday, like Reds Pirates. That was fun.
I was going to bring that up.
I was not.
What's up with your?
Did you see the mood
How do you
change?
get no hit
just
and
right?
then only the Reds.
I haven't watched any of it. I refuse.
And watch the Pirates. The Pirates will do the same thing.
So they allowed no hits, right, and still lost.
The Reds no hit the Pirates and lost. And to me, like, I have a good buddy who's a diehard Reds fan, like everyone else around here is, and we have a group chat, and he's like, I don't know whether that was the lowest point of being a Reds fan or if that was the best game we've played all year. And I'm like,
Right? That's a great point.
how do you walk away? Like, even as I hesitate to even call myself a Pirates fan anymore because I don't watch them. I don't support them financially in any way. But it's like, how do you walk away from that? Like, all right, we won. All right, we haven't had a hit since Saturday. Cool. Like, what? Like,
Both teams walk away
this
was this good or bad?
suck. Yeah, but at the same time, the Reds are a no-hitter. I mean, that's
Right.
awesome.
Yeah. That's a great,
I think
great
it was
way
like
to
the
look at
most
it.
fitting game those two teams could probably play. In
Yeah,
in
for
a lot
sure.
of ways. Either that or like a non-error 15 to 14 6-hour game. One of those two.
Yeah, I saw it come up. It was like Reds don't allow a hit, but still lose. And I'm like, is this the Onion?
By the way, help me out here. I do the fantasy baseball thing. It's my favorite fantasy sport of all of them. And I have Votto. But he's been out for 2 weeks with COVID.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's what I heard.
COVID? Okay.
But he had it like a month ago.
I think he just
He's been on
quit.
the DL for like 3 weeks.
I think he's done.
He's making TikTok videos.
Of course,
right
he
now.
really wasn't playing. Even when he was playing, he was hitting about $122.
Yeah, he's more worried about his social media, I think, right now.
Yeah.
So
Never a big Votto fan, I gotta admit.
I like how he plays.
He's been at Cincinnati forever, though, right? How many years has he been there?
I don't know.
Here,
Forever.
I did see he has the most amazing stat in the history of sports, though. So I think was it the first month he popped out to the pitcher, and it was the first time in his career that he'd popped out to the pitcher. Think about that.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
How many
Yeah,
at-bats
for
he's
sure.
probably had? Because you said he's been playing for what,
He's been
12
playing
years,
for a while.
14 years?
Something like that,
Yeah.
yeah.
To never, not
That's
once,
crazy.
just catch a ball off the top of the bat is unbelievable.
That's
I saw
cool.
that stat, and I was like, that's got to be
Did you guys
fake.
see the raccoon at the Arkansas baseball game?
I think was.
It got in the stands and the
Yeah.
dude grabbed it
Yeah, I think I saw that.
and had it by the neck
I did see
Yeah.
that.
and just like walks out with it, and the thing's like trying to bite him.
We had
and
a-
people are like scurrying everywhere trying to get away from it. One lady falls over top of the seats and falls on her back trying to get away from it.
We had a squirrel delay at the Winfield Nitro sectional
Yeah.
final last
Oh,
week.
yeah?
Red squirrel runs out of the outfield. I'm just called Tom, and he's just out there avoiding traffic. Like somebody signed him up.
Steve
for
Hensley
football.
didn't run out there and just grab it by the neck.
No, Steve had more important things going on, like trying to win the first section of his career, which
Yeah.
is, or not his career, but his softball
Softball,
tenure, I should
yeah.
say. Yeah, had to feel good for that guy.
Yeah, I love Steve.
Great guy,
He
and
is.
he has had some great teams that, as you and I have talked about, both on air and off air, that probably shoulda, coulda, woulda, and didn't. And
Yeah.
for them to win 5 straight, eliminate every team in that section, including Nitro twice after Nitro was 6-0 against that section regular season. It's a pretty remarkable run they went on all of a sudden. That was cool
Yeah,
to
it's
see.
good to see.
Yeah, so like I said, if you want to come spit some seeds, we'll go see if they can take it a step further tonight.
What time do they play? 4:30.
Not 6.
There you go.
6 o'clock. Yeah. No. I apologize. 7. They're an hour later than everyone else. I don't know why, but they're starting to.
Usually, like you get into regionals, it's all the same time.
Well, it's usually all the same day, but that's not the case, as I've learned this morning, because I was originally supposed to go to St. Albans, only to find out they're not starting until tomorrow. And they play at 6. So Winfield plays at 7 tonight.
Who's St. Albans at?
Greenbrier East.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess they have St. Albans and Sissonville have graduations tonight.
Yeah, they do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they had to push theirs back a day.
Guess who's live on Video Productions, by the way? They're producing all of those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
nice.
Good stuff.
Which goes right out of the.
So you'll be on there, don't
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I was about to say, geez.
No,
Jackson,
we're
they're
just
doing
doing the video work. Yeah.
Kirk Street over
I
here.
am not doing
for the
play-by-play for graduation.
He just gives a quick rundown of every resume as
awesome.
they step one.
That'd be awesome.
In the
Yeah.
5th grade.
should put
And
you on
Ryan
there.
Pritt stepping up on the stage, and he's got 5 members of his family, including his mom and dad.
Once homered as part of a 4th grade Little League team.
That's awesome.
Great colorer.
You're
And I
up there with
guarantee he's
the
got a
mic.
Metallica shirt underneath his
Hey,
gown.
man, I switched the band
Wiffle
up
ball
today, you know?
Hall of Famer.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
That's the first thing on my resume. I actually
Yeah.
updated my resume to include that.
Yeah, when you were doing the there you go.
I didn't.
I love
actually.
it.
I
With
should,
your
though.
awards.
Can you imagine just putting at the very top 2022 Huntington Wiffle Ball League inductee? That'd just be like, what? I got to call this guy back. He seems like a winner.
I just want to ask him about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got softball and baseball graduation all week for Kanawha County schools,
Forget about the.
and then track and field
yeah.
state meet
Oh,
at the
yeah.
end of the week. So
Days.
gearing up there.
Yeah. What's that? 3 or 4 days now? Is it 4?
Did they go back, or because I know with the pandemic and COVID, they kind of messed around with the schedule.
I think it's the same this year.
Did they keep it? Because some people say they like it because
Wow.
it gets some events out of the way that are long events, maybe.
That
on
was true.
first
What
night.
was always wasn't the last one always like the 4x8? It was one of those that just took, and there was always
Yeah.
like 2 heats once you got to double A, and it was
Yeah.
just like it's like an hour straight of distance running. Like,
Yeah,
oh
so-
my god!
I'm not
Hurry
sure of the
up.
schedule, so you may
No, I
you
don't.
probably know more than I do. So.
I hope
You would do all the stats and stuff for that, didn't you? For the longest time,
and that's probably what scarred me. Like
you had to sit there and write them all out, didn't you?
I typed
Or type them
I
out.
typed results for every event for the entire state for like 3 or 4 straight years.
Yeah.
And that includes heats.
Didn't they
Holy
have?
hell.
Don't they have a program that does that?
Now.
Yeah, now
Okay,
they do. But that
so
was
this is before.
I'm
This is
talking
the
like
beginning of.
5-6 years ago.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
did this. This was my and oh, by the way, I had to write like 2 notebook items too. So I would sit next to my buddy Mr. Cavender, I believe was his name. Is his name sits up there, and just basically bug him nonstop for 3 days to hand me results, and I would get them and type them all in, add up my own team standings. Which
Yeah.
brings me to tennis.
I was just about to say what. Speaking of stats, can we transition over to the guy that you asked for stats?
Was this not good?
It's funny.
I don't know how much of this I want to ruin.
On this show,
let's
we
just
talk about whatever
say-
we want.
No, I'm not. But I'm going to write it too.
Okay, well, don't ruin it yet.
Like, it's just,
So this is what the column is going to be.
it's archaic.
Okay.
This system that we currently have at state tennis tournament is embarrassing.
Okay.
It's Stone Age. It's a bunch. If you'd asked me Saturday, you would have had to have Jack have the bleep button ready. He was cussing everybody and everything. We'll say, yeah.
We
Hey,
need
you don't
to
need
put
to
that
know.
on the hotkeys. Beep, beep.
It's a 3-day tournament, right? I had not seen team results for the first time until the 3rd day morning. No team standings. And when we got them, they were wrong. And when I got them, it was a picture of a handwritten sheet of paper with scratched out numbers and names that you couldn't read.
That's
At the end of Saturday in Class AAA boys, no, check that, girls, sorry, it's a long week. They were about to hand the runner-up trophy to Williamstown, at which point I interjected and said, I don't think that's right, which led to a 45-minute conversation between 2 people in completely different sites as they tried to check each other's math, at which point I ended up being correct.
Hey, you got a 32.
Chapmanville was the runner-up. They still got the points wrong, by the way. They had them winning it by 2. No, they won it by 1. I didn't even say anything about that, and it is what it is. But we were 5 minutes from sending the runner-up trophy, from the SSAC sending the runner-up trophy to Wood County. Like, we were there. We were at the post-awards.
That's not good.
And it was on me and a Charleston Catholic. I believe he was a parent. I didn't catch his name, so sorry if you're watching or listening, but a representative wearing a lot of green and C's. And obviously, Catholic won. None of them care who finished second. Like, they've already got theirs, and they've won it far and away.
Randomly, yeah.
He comes over with me, and we start doing math together. And the only reason that the AAA runner-up trophy is not residing in Williamstown is because of me and a Charleston Catholic parent. That's the kind of scoring we have at the state, let me repeat, the state tennis tournament. Not one on Thursday between two schools. The state tennis tournament.
So there's no electronic.
It is. Let me tell you guys. Something right now. It is easier to find the U.S. nuclear missile launch codes than it is team standings at the state tennis tournament. That's not a joke. And my favorite part is, as I'm tweeting this out, and I'm being, as Brandon knows, sarcastic and what's the word? Passive aggressive.
Passive aggressive. Yeah.
Because I'm just really trying not to lose my mind. And the problem is, everyone sitting there with me agrees with me, including some people that probably shouldn't. They're like, and then people are tweeting me like, sports writers like, oh, yeah, so you've run it in the state tennis tournament. I'm like, why has no one said anything about this? Because this is only the second time I've ever been there at all. And the other time was like on finals day. So by then it's like, it's whatever. So I'm there for 2 days and that's just how it is. Well, why the hell is it like it is?
That's just how it is.
That's just the way we've always done it.
That team might have won it that year back in 2012, but who knows? But that's just how it is.
Yeah. What if we've given away? Not we, but the SSAC or whoever has given away championships or.
This gets way better. You know, here it is. Okay,
and don't ruin it.
Yeah, a couple of things. You've been to the state wrestling meet.
Yeah.
Okay. You know that big board up there where they're just updating.
Always.
How much do you think that costs?
I have no idea, but it looks like a lot of maintenance.
A couple $100, probably a few $100.
What, is it built out of wood?
Whatever it is.
I don't know.
Mahogany.
Do you think that having? Let me ask you this.
Maple.
Do you think having regional revenue and state tournament revenue in a fourth class of basketball could pay for one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Guess how you count tennis team standings? Do you know?
I wouldn't even know how to
Do you know?
start.
I have no.
It's really difficult. Okay, check this out. Every match you win counts as 1 point. You're counting by ones the entire tournament.
That's
this isn't
simple.
wrestling. This isn't track where it's like 10-8-6, whatever that is.
For
and if you tie, then it does this.
Right.
And wrestling is if you win in this round, it's worth this. No. If you win in the finals, if the Charleston Catholic kid wins a final, it's 1 point. If he wins in the quarterfinals, it's 1 point. You're counting by ones. The entire
for
tournament.
every victory is 1 point.
If you win a match, 1 point.
You win the entire match.
Okay.
Yeah.
How hard is it
That's
to
rough.
have one human being counting by ones? I don't have much faith in humans anymore, but I know for a
But
fact
there's got to be
somebody can count by ones.
there's got to be a computer program though that does this.
I mean, I agree.
A software
Trust me,
package.
I agree. Like that should be done easily. But you can't even get a cork board.
Yeah.
And it's the same. And so you're at two different sites, right? There's a site for AAA, which is down in Kanawha City.
Which has no bearing on the AA, single A.
No. But they don't have it down there either. So here's what happens. You have two people, one poor woman up at AAA who I got to pester for nonstop for 3 days. Because
That was up at Catholic, right?
Yeah, so as the players come off the court, they come over to her, they give her their results. She's handwriting them in a program. This is how we're doing it. Well, actually, she printed out the bracket sheets. She's handwriting who won and the score.
On the bracket.
Every now and then, someone at AAA calls her, and she has to relay these scores via phone to him or her or whoever's on the other end. It could be Russia. I have no idea.
That's weird.
And apparently they're calculating team scores,
Up at AAA, the
but
location.
trying to get him to give them to you is like beating a brick wall in. I'll tell you this: we didn't run team scores the first 2 days. We didn't have them.
You didn't have them? Yeah.
He wouldn't give them to him.
What is the point in calculating team scores if you're not giving them to the media? Like, why?
So when
Even
you
a coach, like, if I'm there coaching, don't I want to know? Which I'm
Where
sure
we're
he's
at.
tabulating it and got
Yeah, I'm
parents
sure he's
doing
got
it too.
it, yeah.
There has to be an easier way to do this. Like, we can't just have a board up here. That's like, because they're not all ending at once.
Sure.
Like, you have a second in between the end of matches to be like, okay, Charleston Catholic won this match. There's a point. Oh, Williamstown won. There's a point. All right, update it. It ain't hard.
No.
That's assuming you're not doing what you're talking about, which is just inputting them on a website.
Into a computer on a
Why don't you
website.
just put them on the SSAC site?
Yeah.
They already have a link for brackets on there. How hard would it be to update that bracket, refresh, and then have it there now?
You could do that easy.
If you go to the SSAC website right now and look at their tennis brackets, I guarantee you it's just the original matchups.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, why did that guy have such a problem with giving you the? Because I remember we kind of talked briefly about it before we went on the pod Friday.
Well,
Was he
first of
just
all,
not giving it to you?
Well, there's the first exercise is you have to go through the hoops of who even has them. Okay,
Oh,
because
yeah, that's-
one person will tell you this person has them. When you get a hold of them, they send you back to the person that told you they had them.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
then you're like, okay, well, who really? Okay, well, it may be this guy. So then you call him, and he doesn't want to give you anything because he's just a jerk. So then that sends you back to here, and then at the
Why
end
does
of
he
the,
not give
do
you?
you know who sent me the picture of the scratched out results? Bernie Dolan. Does he he doesn't have anything else to do?
Wow.
Yeah, he should not even
And
have to worry
I'll
about
show
that.
it.
That should be taken care
I'll
of.
literally show
That's
you.
crazy.
I want to show you the picture.
That's nuts.
Yeah, and I can, and I'll show it to you too. But when he, and I'm not calling Bernie out or anyone else by a specific name right now. As a
But you're
group.
right, though.
You
That
should be able
shouldn't
to
be
get.
on him.
You should be able to get stats. You go over to the guy that's his. I mean, you're with the news. I mean, they're
Yeah.
supposed to give the media.
So when I asked for results on Friday night, that's what I was given.
Oh my God.
That's the official team results.
Nice.
That looks like a serial killer note.
Guys, this is the year 20. Hey, this is the year 2022. That was obsolete in 1998.
Yeah, this should be.
Why would you
available
do that?
On
Why
a,
would you
on
do
a,
that?
On a website or an app on your phone?
Absolutely. But at the very least, can we have someone at each site who's counting by one?
That's not hard. Also,
And giving you the results. when you
Yeah, and
need
have
them.
them.
well, if you had the board, like he said, it wouldn't be a problem too, because he could sit there and go, okay,
Let's
Catholic
just
or
plug
whatever.
it.
like
just
they
pl-
do for golf.
Can we plug
Sure,
a printer
yeah.
up and just have them print out new team results every time a match comes in? I mean, we recycle paper as a society. It's not going to hurt.
Didn't you say she was printing? So she was printing stuff, or was she
No,
writing?
She was handwriting.
Okay.
Everything here is handwritten.
And then why were they calling her? Why were they doing?
Some
They're just
guy at
communicating
another
the
site-
AAA and the two sites.
well, no, somebody at the AAA site was supposed to be compiling team results, but where the
they
hell they're
couldn't
located?
compile their own team results.
No, that's what I'm saying. And you're counting by one.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
1, 2,
and it's not like
three.
they're coming in at rapid pace.
I'll bring Malia next year. Like, she can do it, 1,
Get a
2,
clicker.
3. Yeah, I really thought about, sending Bernie an invoice for an hour of work. Do you know how much trouble I saved them?
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said anything. But I
Yeah.
felt bad for Chapmanville
And
because
you're right though, because you talked about earlier. Not only are coaches calculating probably at the same time, parents are doing the same thing.
Yeah, they're counting.
well, that's why the
So
Catholic.
if it would have messed up, Chapmanville parents would have probably been, "Oh, wait
Yeah,
up, hold
yeah.
up."
For sure.
Well, that's why the Catholic guy came over to me. And again, I'm sorry I did not catch his name, so I apologize to him. He was doing the Lord's work too. But I don't know if he was a parent. I don't think he was an administrator. He wasn't David Sad or Jacob Nelson, so he wasn't the AD or the coach. And he comes over at the same time as me. He's like, "Yeah, I think you're right." So he's over there calculating it too. And then they call back to AAA. And he's like, no, whoever's on the phone, on the red phone at AAA is like,
The banana phone.
no, I think it's Williamstown. And our lady's like, well, I have two guys here telling me it's not. And this leads to like a 30-minute conversation. Meanwhile, everyone's standing on the deck.
Oh my God.
Catholic doesn't even get its because you do runner-up then champion.
Right.
They've
So they have to
won
wait.
by a clear margin,
Yeah.
which they apparently, I don't know. I don't even know if we had the points right. As you see, how easy would it be to make a mistake on that sheet of paper? Am I wrong? So they have to wait this entire time while all these people are debating something that I already know because you're counting by freaking
ones.
one, guys.
Ones.
And but then again, I'm calculating that sheet of paper I just showed you. That was supposed to be the team standings heading into Championship Saturday.
Right.
I'm assuming there's no mistakes on that paper.
Yeah, that's the thing. There could be mistakes
still
on
not
that.
sure they got it right. Now think about the last 50 to however
That's
many
what I
ever
was
years
saying.
we've done this. How many trophies are in the wrong spot right now?
That's what I was saying. I was saying, how many of these teams have won because of mistake of just simple math by ones?
Listen, track is online, right? Wrestling is online.
Swimming online.
Swimming is online.
How can you not get that online?
If I'm a tennis parent, I am raising 40 kinds of hell, and since they won't do it, I guess I will.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yeah.
Because actually just talking about it pissed me off again. Now I'm ready to go again.
Had to relive that.
It's just
helps.
unbelievable. Like, and the people that are like, well, that's just how it is. No, it ain't.
That's how a lot of
It
stuff
doesn't
does get
have to be.
fixed.
I know.
That's how it always happens. Somebody just accepts a ludicrous system or whatever it may be, and it's like, well, it is what it is. There's the same people that complain about it too.
There's no phrase on this planet that pisses me off more than that's the way we've always done it.
Yeah, I know. That's
So-
terrible.
So you'll be the marshal of the parade going down Chapmanville because you saved
Well, and it was funny.
you
'cause
and this anonymous Catholic.
It was funny because all the
parent.
Chapmanville people had left because their matches were over. Like they had doubles matches in the day, and all theirs were in singles. And after about 25 minutes of them not arguing on the phone, trying to sort this huge debacle out, which, by the way, we're counting by one. Again, they scored 12 points. They only had to count to 12. This took 30 minutes.
That's all.
Chapmanville's coach comes wandering back into
It's
the
not like
fray.
132 to 131. No, it was 12 to 11.
Well, they had it 12-10. I had it 12-11, but the margin at that point was, I don't even know, just as long as we get the trophy the right way. But after like 25 minutes of this, Chapmanville's coach comes wandering back into the deck out of nowhere, and he's like, hey, I think we might have won the runner-up trophy.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, you haven't played in an hour. Where have you been? You should have been here
He was at
helping me,
Wendy's
pal.
calculating on a napkin.
But I mean, it was a huge week for Chapmanville because, they had a young lady, and forgive me, I forgot her name, but she won like the number 3 singles. She was the first individual state champion in the history of Chapmanville High School. And then you almost sent their runner-up trophy all the way to Wood County because nobody can count by one. Or at least communicate, or we can't have a website, or even a cork board.
You should have told them that you got a 32 on your ACT in math.
You could have had a 12 on your ACT in math.
And
Because that's
counted
the
12.
highest you had to count.
They would have
12.
got out of your way though.
They won 12 matches. Williamstown won 11.
The end.
Wonder who won.
Wonder who finished higher. There is actually one caveat in fairness. If you get a bye in the first round, you have to win your second match to get that point. So if you
that maybe
there's
they
buys
calculated
in the
wrong.
quarterfinal.
Gotcha.
So if you got a bye and you win your second match, it's actually worth 2 because you get the. And I know that's
That's
trying to
mind-blowing.
wrap
now.
your head around that.
We're
Now,
one and two.
now we're doing like nuclear physics over here. I don't even know, but I mean that's the only caveat to the entire scoring system. And I didn't know that, and I'm like, well, how do they count? That's worth 1. But he just won a final. Yeah, every match is worth 1. We're counting by 1. Yeah, we're counting by 1s.
So a quarterfinal is the same.
Yeah, everything's the
Worth
same
half
point.
that.
It's
If you
1
win a
point.
match, it's 1.
Okay.
Unless you do the whole bye thing. So
And that just throws it all off.
I'm just
Yeah,
sitting
throwing
there.
that 2 in there.
I'm just sitting there like I'm utter dumbfounded as all these sports writers message me. Oh, I see you're dealing with that. Has no one ever wrote like some kind of scathing column about that? Am I the only one that's ever like this has to have been done, right? Like
Apparently not.
no one, like no one's gonna throw this out here and
I've never
just
seen
challenge
anything.
like
I haven't
this
seen it like that.
system.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just because they're just trying to get through the day and they just don't think to do it. You know what I mean? Maybe that they're covering. They're like, I got through it. I don't care.
And I don't know who to blame. I know whose name is, at the SSAC, they all have sports under them. I know who it's under. And I'm not putting it all on him. I don't know. But that group of people, all of whom I respect, Bernie, Wayne, Greg Reed, Cindy Daniel, all fine people, right? together we have to come up with something. Like, just anything. Like, put a website on it. Like, put a board at each place. Something has to be done.
It's not hard. They could do that.
It's not. It's not difficult, and I fully trust the ability of those people to find something to change this with, because and that's not even counting the fact that for some reason we play AAA at a place with 5 courts, and we play AAA at a place with 8. So AAA ends 5 hours earlier than AAA does on Friday. That's not counting the fact that we only had officials on 2 courts instead of 5 at AAA, which doesn't make any sense because they're only calling 2 matches, and then the kids are reffing themselves on the other 3. Can we get enough officials in there, please, to at least do them all or do none of them? Those are whole separate things that we'll figure that out. But for God's sakes, make it to where someone knows who's leading the damn tournament before it's over, especially you.
Can't they just have like we were talking about, just a board up, and then every time a team wins a match, you just take out, okay, they were at 2, you take the 2 out, put a 3 up. Can you just do that?
You take a piece of corkboard, you print off every team's name, you laminate it, then you print off numbers.
There you go.
1 through 25, laminate them. Corkboard, pegs. Okay,
Exactly.
that number changed. Okay, this team actually dropped down to here.
It's like golf. You got the golf.
Pretty much what they do at wrestling.
Yeah.
It's just not hard. It's not.
Hey, throw it on the website for the folks that are not there.
Yeah. Or
For
you
sure.
could just do that and actually get with, somewhat modern times. But I'm just thinking there can't be another state in the country doing it this way. There can't. Right?
I don't know. Kentucky, probably. I don't know.
No. I feel like it's embarrassing. I feel like everyone involved should be embarrassed. I really do. And that's not me. I'm not attacking anyone, but think about it.
It's also
Your handwriting results in 2022.
It's also tennis is looked at as a superior sport of etiquette too, right? Like it's like up there with golf. It's kind of like an individual sport that takes a lot of skill set, and there's usually a lot of money behind this type of sports. Like I know, get something up there.
I know COVID probably hurt financially.
That's true. Yeah.
I also know how many extra people attend the state tournament in basketball and the whole extra day.
Yeah, for sure.
You can buy a cork board.
I mean, it makes the most money.
Yeah. So
I could put that over there, but that's strange. Just going over to this sport of.
I appreciate your leadership in tackling this issue, and so do the tennis parents.
Yeah. We're gonna get a lot of tennis parents loving this episode.
Hey,
Ryan Pritt,
as a journalist, I still feel
leading the way.
I'm kind of old school. I still feel like it's my responsibility to call out injustices, right? That's my job.
Journalism integrity.
And it's the SSAC's job to put on a state tournament. That's good. They didn't do their job. Now I have to do mine. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for
I'll
sure.
end it at that. So we'll see you Friday. Hell, I may just see if I can go in tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. It's coming this week, though.
All right, we'll end it on that note. That's a good way to end it.
It's a good show.
Thanks to Robbie Britt for coming on, talking some University of Charleston baseball. Good luck to them in the regionals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Division II Atlantic regionals there.
He was
Going
great,
to
too, by the way.
Cooper Park, right? That's the
Cooper
name of
Park,
them.
yeah, Millersville, up around Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Up there
You
in
had
PA.
No.
No.
6.5 hour drive from
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, it's up there.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we'll have you Friday, maybe, or will you be over at track, or we'll
No.
be hanging with us?
I'm kind of done.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll be back in studio. Do we have our guest on Friday still?
So Mason, I'll get back with Mason. He's kind of busy today. They are, be on the lookout for that. Mason Williams, I think, has tentatively agreed to come on Friday. Georgia Southern plays. I think it's today and tomorrow and Wednesday. It's early this week in their regional. So he's trying to qualify for the NCAA tournament. He already qualified for the regional qualifier in the U.S. Open, advanced through local qualifying. So I did talk to him last week. He said he would love to come on. So as long as he's good Friday, we'll get him.
All right, cool.
That'd be great.
So we should have that Friday.
Yeah.
So there you go. Wrap up the show on that. Again, Mondays and Fridays, 4 p.m. We premiere our episodes across the board, HD Media, social media pages, and the websites as well. They're archived over there, and video productions. So, all right, until Friday, thank you for listening and watching the Brandon Lowe Show with Ryan Pritt.
Thanks, guys.